Have you been avoiding milk because you have type 2 diabetes? Or maybe you've heard someone say that one special kind of milk can magically lower your blood sugar. The truth is, somewhere in between. Milk is neither your enemy nor a miracle cure. The wrong choice can raise your blood sugar faster than you realize, but the right choice, used the right way, can become part of a healthy diabetes-friendly diet. Today, we're counting down the 5 best milk choices for people with type 2 diabetes, based on current nutrition research. And don't skip to the end, because the #1 recommendation isn't a special brand of milk at all. It's a simple habit that researchers have repeatedly shown can reduce blood sugar spikes after meals. Our goal today isn't to sell you anything. It's simply to help you make smarter choices every time you walk through the dairy aisle. Before we begin, let me know your age in the comments. Whether you're 55, 65, or 80, I'd love to know who's watching. Now let's start with a milk that many people already enjoy, but probably haven't been choosing the smartest version of. Number 5. Ultra-filtered or lactose-free cow's milk. If you enjoy regular dairy milk, there's good news. You probably don't need to give it up. You may simply need to choose a better version. Regular cow's milk naturally contains lactose, a type of sugar that contributes to your total carbohydrate intake. While lactose isn't harmful by itself, it still raises blood glucose after digestion. Ultra-filtered milk is different. During production, part of the lactose is removed while the protein becomes more concentrated. That means you get more protein and less sugar in every glass. Why is that important? Because protein slows digestion. Instead of carbohydrates entering your bloodstream all at once, they're absorbed more gradually, helping reduce sharp blood sugar spikes after meals. Several studies support this idea. Researchers found that drinking higher protein milk with breakfast resulted in a smaller increase in post-meal blood sugar compared with lower protein options. Other research has also linked whey protein to modest improvements in long-term glucose control in people with prediabetes. Imagine someone like Linda, who's 66 years old. Every morning she drinks coffee and oatmeal with regular milk. Instead of eliminating dairy, she switches to an unsweetened, ultra-filtered milk with nearly twice the protein. Her breakfast stays exactly the same, but over time, her glucose readings after breakfast become noticeably steadier. That's the kind of change we like to see. Simple, affordable, and easy to maintain. This becomes even more valuable after age 60, when muscle mass naturally declines and the body becomes less sensitive to insulin. Extra protein helps support both muscle health and blood sugar control. Here's one tip before you buy. Don't trust the words on the front of the carton. Turn it around and read the nutrition label. Look for higher protein, lower carbohydrates, no added sugar. Those 3 details matter much more than marketing. So if you still enjoy dairy, ultra-filtered milk is one of the easiest upgrades you can make. But what if improving blood sugar isn't your only goal? What if your gut health could also play a role? That's exactly where our next choice stands out. Because number 4 doesn't just nourish your body. It also feeds the beneficial bacteria living inside your digestive system. Number 4. Plain kefir and unsweetened drinkable yogurt. Our next choice isn't just about protein. It's about your gut. Over the past decade, scientists have discovered that the trillions of bacteria living inside your digestive system play a much bigger role in blood sugar control than anyone once believed. A healthy gut doesn't just help you digest food. It also influences inflammation, insulin sensitivity, and the way your body processes carbohydrates. That's where fermented dairy stands out. Unlike regular milk, kefir and plain drinkable yogurt contain live probiotic cultures. During fermentation, these beneficial bacteria naturally consume some of the milk's lactose, making the drink easier to digest while introducing helpful microbes into your gut. Think of it this way. You're not just drinking milk. You're feeding an entire community of beneficial bacteria that work with your body every day. Several large studies have found that people who regularly eat plain yogurt tend to have a lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. While this doesn't prove yogurt prevents diabetes, clinical trials have also shown that probiotic-rich fermented dairy may improve markers related to blood sugar regulation and inflammation. The improvements are usually modest. But diabetes isn't managed by one dramatic change. It's managed by dozens of small improvements working together. Imagine someone like Robert, age 70. For years, his breakfast included a large glass of orange juice. Every morning, his glucose meter showed the same sharp spike. His doctor suggested replacing the juice with a small glass of plain kefir. Nothing else changed. After several weeks, not only did his digestion improve, but his morning blood sugar became noticeably more stable. Why? Because juice delivers sugar very quickly. Kefir delivers protein, calcium, and beneficial bacteria that slow digestion and support a healthier gut. That's a much friendlier combination for someone living with diabetes. This becomes especially important after age 65. As we get older, the diversity of healthy bacteria inside our gut naturally declines. At the same time, chronic inflammation becomes more common, making blood sugar harder to control. Adding fermented foods won't solve everything, but it can support one of the body's natural defenses against metabolic decline. Here's one mistake to avoid. Don't choose flavored yogurt or fruit-flavored kefir. Many contain more added sugar than people realize. Instead, choose products labeled plain and unsweetened. If you'd like more flavor, add a handful of fresh berries or a sprinkle of cinnamon yourself. That way, you control the sugar, not the manufacturer. Here's today's simple action step. Try replacing one sugary breakfast drink each day with a small serving of plain kefir or unsweetened drinkable yogurt. It's an easy swap that supports both digestion and blood sugar without changing your entire diet. But what if dairy simply isn't for you? Maybe you're lactose intolerant. Maybe you prefer plant-based options. Or maybe you're looking for a milk that's naturally one of the lowest in carbohydrates. If that's the case, our number 3 choice could become your new everyday favorite. Because it removes hidden sugar from your routine without asking you to give up your morning coffee or cereal. Number 3. Unsweetened almond milk. If your main goal is reducing the amount of sugar you consume each day, this may be the easiest change you can make. Unsweetened almond milk is one of the lowest carbohydrate milk options available. Unlike regular dairy milk, which naturally contains lactose, unsweetened almond milk contains very little sugar, often less than 1 gram of carbohydrate per 100 milliliters. That means every cup places a much smaller demand on your body's insulin response. For many people with type 2 diabetes, that's a simple but meaningful advantage. Think about how often you use milk, morning coffee, tea, breakfast cereal, smoothies, even cooking. Each serving may seem small, but over weeks and months, those carbohydrates quietly add up. Replacing them with a lower-carb alternative can help reduce your overall daily glucose load without changing the meals you already enjoy. Recent nutrition reviews continue to rank unsweetened almond milk among the best low-carbohydrate choices for people trying to improve blood sugar control. But there's one word you should never ignore. Unsweetened. That's because many almond milks sold in supermarkets are flavored with vanilla, chocolate, or other sweeteners. Some contain 2, 3, or even 4 times more sugar than the unsweetened version. So don't rely on the picture on the carton. Turn it over. Read the nutrition label. A good choice should have very little carbohydrate and no added sugar. Now, let's be honest about its biggest weakness. Almond milk is naturally low in protein. Most brands provide only 1 gram of protein per serving. That's much less than cow's milk or soy milk. Why does that matter? Because protein helps keep you full, supports muscle health, and slows the absorption of carbohydrates. After age 60, Preserving muscle becomes increasingly important, not only for strength and balance, but also because healthy muscle helps remove glucose from the bloodstream more efficiently. So while almond milk is excellent for lowering sugar intake, it shouldn't be your main source of protein. Think of it as the perfect milk for your coffee, tea, or smoothie, not as a complete nutritional replacement. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine Susan, who's 61. She drinks 3 cups of coffee every day, each with regular milk. Without realizing it, those small amounts of milk add up to a significant amount of carbohydrate over the course of a week. She switches to unsweetened almond milk. Nothing else changes. Same coffee. Same routine. Just fewer hidden carbohydrates entering her body every day. Sometimes, it's the smallest habits that produce the biggest long-term results. Here's today's action step. The next time you're shopping, compare 2 cartons of almond milk. Choose the one that's unsweetened, fortified with calcium and vitamin D, and contains the fewest carbohydrates. It's a small decision that can benefit you every single morning. But what if you don't want to sacrifice protein? What if you could have a milk that's low in sugar, rich in complete protein, and even supports heart health? That's exactly why our number 2 choice is considered by many nutrition experts to be the most balanced milk for people living with type 2 diabetes. Let's take a closer look. Number 2. Unsweetened soy milk. If there were one milk that offers the best balance of nutrition, blood sugar support, and heart health, many experts would point to unsweetened soy milk, and for good reason. Unlike most plant-based milks, soy milk is naturally rich in complete protein while remaining low in carbohydrates. That combination makes it one of the most diabetes-friendly choices you can buy. A typical serving of unsweetened soy milk contains only a few grams of carbohydrate, but provides around 7 to 8 grams of high-quality protein, very similar to regular cow's milk. Why is that important? Because protein slows digestion and helps your body absorb glucose more gradually after meals. Instead of a sharp rise in blood sugar, you get a smoother, more controlled response. But soy milk offers another benefit that's especially important for people with type 2 diabetes. It supports heart health. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death among adults with diabetes. That's why managing cholesterol is just as important as managing blood sugar. Soy contains natural compounds called isoflavones, which have been studied for their ability to support healthy cholesterol levels and reduce inflammation. Several large studies have shown that replacing higher-fat dairy products with soy foods may help lower LDL, often called bad cholesterol. That means one simple change can benefit both your blood sugar and your cardiovascular health. Researchers have also looked at soy's effect on diabetes itself. While soy milk isn't a cure for diabetes, clinical studies suggest that replacing higher sugar beverages with unsweetened soy milk can help support healthier blood sugar control as part of an overall balanced diet. In other words, soy works best as one piece of a healthy lifestyle, not as a miracle solution. Let's look at an example. Meet David, age 68. He has managed type 2 diabetes for nearly a decade. His blood sugar is fairly stable, but his cholesterol remains higher than he'd like. Instead of making drastic changes, he replaces regular milk with unsweetened fortified soy milk in his morning coffee, oatmeal, and homemade smoothies. A few months later, his eating habits feel easier to maintain, his protein intake is higher, and his cholesterol numbers begin moving in the right direction. No special diet, no expensive supplements, just a healthier everyday choice. If you're considering soy milk, remember 2 things. First, choose unsweetened. Second, look for one that's fortified with calcium, vitamin D, and vitamin B12, especially if it's replacing dairy in your diet. Those nutrients become increasingly important as we get older. Here's today's action step. If you've never tried unsweetened soy milk, buy 1 carton this week and use it in the foods you already enjoy: coffee, oatmeal, cereal, or smoothies. You may be surprised how little changes in taste, while your nutrition improves significantly. Now we've reached the final recommendation. And here's the interesting part. It isn't another type of milk. In fact, it doesn't matter whether you choose dairy milk or soy milk, because the strongest research shows that when you drink your milk may be even more important than which milk you choose. Let's look at the number one strategy that could make the biggest difference in your blood sugar after meals. Number 1. The simple timing trick that can help reduce blood sugar spikes. We've finally reached the number 1 recommendation. And here's the biggest surprise. It isn't a special milk. It isn't a new superfood. And it certainly isn't an expensive product marketed to people with diabetes. Instead, it's a simple habit that changes when you drink your milk. Researchers call it a protein preload. The idea is simple. Drink a small glass, about 150 to 200 milliliters, of unsweetened high-protein milk, such as ultra-filtered cow's milk or unsweetened soy milk, about 10 to 15 minutes before your highest carbohydrate meal. That small change can make a surprisingly big difference. Here's why. When protein reaches your stomach before carbohydrates, it slows the speed at which food leaves the stomach. As a result, glucose enters your bloodstream more gradually, instead of all at once. At the same time, your body begins releasing insulin earlier, helping move glucose into your cells more efficiently. The carbohydrates haven't changed. Your body's response to them has. Think of it like pouring water into a sink. If you dump in an entire bucket at once, the sink may overflow. But if you pour the same amount slowly, the drain easily keeps up. Your body works in a similar way. Slowing the arrival of glucose gives your body more time to manage it. This isn't just a theory. Clinical studies have shown that consuming whey protein before a carbohydrate-rich breakfast significantly reduced post-meal blood sugar levels compared with eating breakfast alone. Other research has found that drinking higher protein milk with breakfast not only improved glucose levels after breakfast, but also helped keep blood sugar steadier at the next meal. Researchers sometimes call this the second meal effect. In other words, one smart choice in the morning may continue helping your body for hours afterward. Let's imagine someone like Mary, age 72. Every morning she eats oatmeal and whole grain toast. Healthy foods, but her glucose monitor always shows a large spike after breakfast. Instead of changing her breakfast, she simply drinks a small glass of unsweetened soy milk about 10 minutes before eating. The next morning, her breakfast is exactly the same. The only difference is the timing. Within a few days, she notices her post-breakfast glucose readings are much steadier. Nothing magical happened. She simply gave her body a better chance to prepare for the carbohydrates that were coming. This strategy becomes even more valuable as we get older. As we age, the body's insulin response naturally becomes slower. That's one reason blood sugar tends to rise more easily after meals. Starting with protein gives your body a head start. It's a simple adjustment that works with your natural physiology rather than against it. Of course, this isn't permission to eat unlimited carbohydrates. A protein preload works best alongside a balanced meal rich in vegetables, lean protein, healthy fats, and whole grains. It's one helpful tool, not a replacement for healthy eating. Here's your action step. Tomorrow morning, before your highest carbohydrate meal, drink a small glass of unsweetened high-protein milk. Wait about 10 minutes if you can. Then enjoy your meal as usual. If you monitor your blood sugar, compare your readings over the next several days. Many people are surprised by how much difference one small habit can make. Let's quickly review today's 5 best choices. Number 5. Ultra-filtered or lactose-free cow's milk. More protein and less sugar than regular milk. Number 4. Plain kefir or unsweetened drinkable yogurt. Supports both gut health and blood sugar. Number 3. Unsweetened almond milk. An excellent low-carbohydrate choice for coffee, tea, and smoothies. Number 2. Unsweetened soy milk. The best all-around plant-based option, offering complete protein and heart health benefits. And number 1. Drink a small glass of high-protein milk before your carbohydrate-rich meal. It's one of the simplest strategies backed by research to help reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes. One final reminder: no milk can cure diabetes. No single food can reverse years of insulin resistance. But the small choices you make every day, what you drink, what you eat, and when you eat it, can have a real impact over time. Progress doesn't come from one perfect meal. It comes from making better decisions consistently. So before you leave, I'd love to hear from you. Which milk do you usually drink? And after watching today's video, are you thinking about making a change? Share your answer in the comments below. Your experience may encourage someone else who's working toward healthier blood sugar. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and join us for more science-backed tips on healthy aging, nutrition, and living well with type 2 diabetes. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.